Good morning. My name is Reverend Annie Bachelder, and I'm here to channel for you. It's what I do. I've been a channel for over 34 years. I studied Awakening Your Light Body, and it taught me a lot of very esoteric energy sensing skills. And I think I've kind of always been that way. I just didn't have a form to put it in. Good morning, Cynthia Clark. Look who's here. How nice. Yay. So I'm so glad that you're all here and you've got questions and you've got ears to hear and hearts to understand with. I think, as is something I really like to do, I like to open with a prayer. And this is my soul's purpose prayer. It goes like this. My soul purposes go forth to bless, heal, inspire, elevate, and dignify the needs and hearts of all women and men. I am divinely compensated in wonderful ways. I know that matter and spirit are one, for everything is made of the one spirit. I look upon money as divine substance. Divine substance and money are always circulating in my life. I use money wisely and constructively. And every day I receive more clients, book sales, students, and opportunities. Divine Source, I am grateful for your unlimited generosity and the endless supply you provide for me. Amen. Okay, I'll bet you Cynthia's got a question for me today. I'm going to go get my page up and see if I can read it there. Sometimes things don't show up real fast on Facebook, so I have to encourage them and refresh my page a lot on my laptop while I'm doing this work in order to be able to get what you're writing and channel an answer for you. Cynthia would love a guided message for me today, for her today. Okay. I'm bringing in the Akashic beings of light to look at your energy and see how things are going. All right. You're feeling strained around the back, the upper back, like you're carrying a heavy load, that it's a little like somehow you've managed to, well, you feel as if you've dug the hole deeper rather than dug your way out. And I think it's a big, you feel burdened by what you feel is your calling. And you know what that probably means is you need a little time off, you need a little walk, you need a little joy, a little play, maybe dance to some music, flipping around the room and look silly and just like be free. It's really, I know you take your work incredibly seriously and you take the needs of others very seriously. And there's a balance that we have to do, especially when we're serving others, as to remember to, as much as we care for ourselves and rest when we need to rest, play when we need to play, work when we need to work, we need to really understand that how well we care for ourselves is reflected in the work, and it allows others to choose to take care of themselves in the process. As you know, my guides love your work, love, and support you in your work. And when I forget and I think I'm doing all the heavy lifting, it means that I have kind of unhooked from the divine, and I've decided I'm doing it on my own rather than being a channel for the divine to work through. And when I go back to being a channel for the divine to work through, the work is far less heavy, less onerous, less ponderous, less stressful, and the burden on my back and my shoulders is lifted. And you don't have to give it up because you're having a bad day. Like you can't, just have to go, I was barking up the wrong tree, I'm not doing this anymore, because you're having a bad day. And you get to have bad days. You're the human, you're an agent of the divine, but you do not have to place yourself in jeopardy in order to do the work. Because truly, as you got yourself out of jeopardy by freeing yourself from the chains that you were bound by in the past, that was a function of the divine working through you. And today is no difference. And maybe the divine working through you is telling you to lay your burden down, lay your shield, your sword, like give it up. You've worked very hard to get where you are and to do what you do for people. And it's all right to have a pause. It is also winter. We humans think we're going to operate the same 365 days a year. And it's just not true. We're physical beings having a spiritual experience, and we're doing our best to bring this fulfillment to our soul's purposes. And if that means having a day off, or going and getting a massage, or taking a walk, and for you it's probably walking in the snow, do that, because that may refresh your soul and your physical body as much as anything. Don't forget to embody your soul's light. If you need to, go to my YouTube channel, Annie Bachelder, or excuse me, Reverend Annie Bachelder Psychic and Channel. That's my YouTube channel, Reverend Annie Bachelder Psychic and Channel, and find one of the several YouTube videos on embodying your soul's light. I think the most recent one is the most powerful that I liked. It's kind of updated energy, and do that to help yourself one way or another, and to refresh your spiritual energy with your soul's divine light and your soul's automatic link between you and the divine. I think that's the way to go here. Okay, you needed that. That's great, Cynthia. I appreciate the acknowledgement. And as examples, here we are sharing our gifts, talents, and abilities with the world as examples of agents of the divine, and everyone is an agent of the divine in some way or another. Even the people we like the least and respect the least, they are being examples of the divine, or they're being utilized as examples for us as well. And as just like as we're examples for our children, we need to demonstrate self-care, or taking time off, or just rolling the dice and having a different day than you started with. Like, regroup. And we have that choice anytime we need, and to just sit in the lap of the divine, recharging our energy, our physical energy, our emotional energy, our soul energy, and our connection with the divine is a great one. And I love that image of sitting in the lap of the divine, like being cradled like a child of the divine in the lap. That's what we are. And it reminds me of gives me a little perspective of like, I'm not very big. I'm just me, you know. I'm powerful, and I'm made in the likeness of the divine and all that. And sometimes I just need to be a receiver of divine healing and energy and clarity and rest, and leave off giving and putting out. I have to just receive. That's a lot of what self-care is to me, is what is it that I need to do to recharge my batteries. So Teresa, welcome back. I'm so glad to see you. I hope you're having a good day. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to have to try and remember to put up the prayer I just used, because I think it's a good one for those of us who are really see ourselves as agents of the divine, or working under the auspices of the divine, in order that others might benefit as well. Good morning, David Grease. Hi, sweetie pie. Kisses, hugs, love your bunches. Makes me happy to see you. So receiving is a big issue, from what I understand. My guides talk about it a lot. And, we forget that we have to sort of receive in equal measure to what we put out, so that we're just a bus stop along the route of the energy, that the energy stops and does its thing in us, and then it can go out to others. And that makes us the channel that we are. And that is absolutely fine. Okay. Someday I'm going to get a pair of contacts that I don't have to put the reading glasses on and off again with. Let's see. David says, good morning, sunshine, our divine vessel. I am just like the rest of you. You're divine vessels too. And, your joy and your participation, all of you, the big you, the group you give back to me by being here and giving me as an audience for all of this energy and some of the wisdom of my guides and the great creatress, or the divine, however you like to call it, her, him, thy being. Cynthia is private messaging me. I won't read that on air. I think that's why you sent it as a private message. So I'll read that a little bit later. But I'm here to answer questions, and whatever question you have is great. Whether you want to know what's the higher purpose of this or that in your personal life, or something about why are things wired up this way as on Earth life, and how does that help us grow and evolve? If you have a bigger question like that, like that's more kind of general, or not just about you, that's great. If you do have a personal question, I would love to channel an answer for you. I'm enjoying my life, and I'm enjoying the fact that I got my book out, published. I've got the last half of the audio chapters to review. So we're going to be able to get the audio book up real soon. That's a major, major thing. I mean, my guides have really made it clear that what they really love you doing is reading the book text and hearing it audio at the same time. That just gets so many of your senses working, and that the information is going to go in deep, deep, deep into you, and you will receive the energy of that very, very clearly. All right. And who is this? Kent Englehart. Hello. I don't know that you've been on here before, and I'm so happy to see you. I welcome you. I welcome you with all my heart. Thank you for being here. Do you have a question that you would like me to answer? One way or the other? That's what this whole thing is about. And you can ask a broad question or you can ask a very narrow question. I like questions that don't just generate a yes or no answer, because in my world, a little more information is very helpful. Although yes and no can be very effective. Or as I like to say, the divine has 3 answers: yes, no, or I had something better in mind. And good morning, Lisa Davis. You got here just in time for that little quote. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? I hope today is a good day for you. And I think I'm going to read the prayer again, just because it's got some energy in it that's pretty useful for everyone. So just let the words of this prayer wash over you and through you, and let it affect in you whatever it needs to affect. Let it, the energy of it and the words of it, be the right message for you. And of course, have the experience you're having. Just have what you're having. It's all right. You don't need fixing. You're just right. All right, this is Soul's Purpose Prayer. My soul purposes go forth to bless, heal, inspire, elevate, and dignify the needs and hearts of all women and men. I am divinely compensated in wonderful ways. I know that matter and spirit are one, for everything is made of the one spirit. I look upon money as divine substance. Divine substance is constantly circulating in my life. Abundance in various forms flow to me freely, joyously, and endlessly. I use money wisely and constructively. Every day I receive more. More clients, book sales, students, and opportunities. Divine Source, I am grateful for your unlimited generosity and the supply that you provide for me. Amen. Hopefully that will be useful to all of you. I love a good prayer. You can use it, change it into whatever you need it to be. That is absolutely kosher in my world. Prayers are just potential format that may help you have. Okay. Prayers are just grist for the mill, and you can use them in a way that works for you, or rewrite them. Good morning, Kathy Sum. All right, Lisa Davis writes, ways to face big challenges. Okay, so when I look at your energy, I know that you are an incredibly inventive and imaginative, artistic, and sensitive person. And you are aware of all of the energies in you and around you. And when it gets very busy and very complicated, it's very hard for you to source yourself and to distill things in you and around you into what is your essence. So for you, especially because of your intelligence, your inventiveness, your creativity, and your sensitivity, I say find that spark of light. somewhere inside your body. Well, you found it, all right. So when you locate that beautiful spark of light, and it's what my guides call the permanent atom of light. And this is the essence of who you are. This is the spark of light that the divine created you from herself and made you into the being that you are. The compilation of contrasts and capabilities and innocence and jadedness and wellness and discomfort, all of those combinations, in order to have the divine experience herself more and more. But this permanent atom of light is always in you. It follows you from body to body, from incarnation to incarnation, and it's with you as your essence in between lifetimes, maybe when you're studying with the art guides or the creative resource guides. And this permanent atom of light is always yours. There's a sense of, oh, there I am. That's my essence. And in my world, it's energy first, information second. And so one thing about like the big challenge you're going through is there's this thing, and it's kind of promoted in our culture that, you know, you're going to picture this thing happening and it's going to happen like that. Well, sometimes it takes a while for all the molecules to get assembled into what it is you're trying to create. And it's perfectly fine that it takes a little time. I think your experience so far is allowing you to refine what you want and actually acknowledge what you want and what you're willing to accept as you make this big change. That you found a lot of options that you are deselecting because that's not it. You know, you're really clear that's not it. And while it may be frustrating because it's not happening on your preordained schedule that you created at your personality level or on the mental level, understand that the divine is moving you through the steps that you need to take as you are creating this big change and moving through this challenge. And it's causing you to have to bring some other gifts, talents, and abilities to the forefront. And I see you as being frustrated because you're feeling like you have to settle for something, and you don't. You don't have to settle for something. You just have to wait and be patient until the divine gets you exactly the next right thing for you. And there was a thought I had yesterday when I was taking a walk about this big move that you're contemplating and trying to create, that you might find that your money goes further in a place like Mexico. You might join the expat community down there, and you can do all your work from there. You can do everything you've done from right where you are now, and produce all the results from that area, and that you will be able to afford perhaps a more buoyant, colorful, spacious location there. And I know that's a big deal, and it might be off in time, a bit in time, and maybe another step down the road. But it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Let me just also look at your physical self. Now, when you focus on this permanent atom of light, let it feed the cells of your body and let it energize who you are as spirit, as a template of source. Let it remind you of your brilliance, and let it be soft and comforting, not driving. You don't need to drive harder in order, you don't have to work harder to have what you want. That's not the message at all. It's more like opening to receive, like we were talking about earlier. Receiving is a big part of it, and understanding the divine wants to give you the queendom. She wants to give you everything she has to offer. And how much can you receive from the divine? And we are convinced by our cultural the way our culture thinks, that we have to do everything by the sweat of our brow, through hard work and effort and setting goals and making goals and pressing the envelope and all this stuff that just makes me exhausted thinking about it. But even easier is to be in the permanent atom of light that is your essence, your soul's light, that chunk of the divine that you are, and receive all the gifts that the divine has for you. And that includes love, peace of mind, confidence, knowing exactly what to do that's next. And maybe it's a simple thing like, all right, you're going to go through that closet and throw out the old shoes, right? That's what you do today. Maybe it's that, or it's do the dishes. It might be something very, very simple like that. And as you be in that spark of light, you receive at an energy level everything that you need to go on about your day with some kind of aplomb and calm and that little bit of divine hope that it's all going to work out for you. Like I had these little messages. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Everything's always working out for me. Everything's always working out for me. Everything's always working out for me, even when I'm scared or think I have to mastermind it or make it happen, force it into place. Everything's always working out for me. And there's a sense of divine timing about everything. So having it, trusting in that the divine wants to give you the best for you right now. Standing in that the divine is always taking care of you. You're not homeless. You're not going to be homeless. You might have to change your perspective and approach it maybe from a much more relaxed, receiving place rather than forcing a round peg into a square hole and having to work at it so hard. Just like put that worker bee. I mean, I really have to, in my own life, put that part of me that wants to work hard at it and make it happen, put that away. Just like when you say, you get to a certain hour and it's like you shut down all the computer sites and software programs and the projects you're working on. You just like call it a day. You start fixing dinner, you get ready to watch some TV, relax. Good morning, Stuart McCrae. Good morning, Melanie Allmind. How nice to see you here. So I think that's enough on that particular question. I'm gonna refresh my Facebook page and see if there are more questions that people who have written in. I love questions. Questions are good. Okay. I don't see any new questions. How is everybody else doing with facing challenges? And I think letting go of my self-judgment about whether or not I produced a result that I had in mind or agree with or didn't have in mind, when I let go of that self-judgment, I fare a lot better because, I'm the one holding the other end of the whip and I'm lashing myself, blah, harder, more. I mean, that's so United Statesian, you're going to clear that field yourself and you're going to build a log cabin by yourself. You're going to fell the trees, you're going to peel the bark off, you're going to stack these really, really heavy logs on each other like Lincoln logs, and you're going to make it work, and you're going to chink the cracks, and you're going to build out the interior, and you're going to make it happen. And yeah, and then you're going to grow all your own food. I mean, really, come on. We're not doing life that way anymore. That's not necessarily the divine's way of working through us. The divine works through us and makes things happen. I'm enjoying a book that is not in here right now. It's called Outrageous Openness. Outrageous Openness by Tosha Silver. And she comes up with these wonderful prayers like, the divine has already selected the place where I'm going to move that is perfect and meets my needs in an elegant way. Or in my case, the divine's already selected the people who are going to buy my book and benefit the most from it. And they will find the book however they find it. And that will be in divine right order. And so I don't have to sweat bullets trying to make it happen and manufacture the very atoms and molecules that make things into physical things. I just have to let go and let the divine do what she does so well on my behalf. I get to be the example of that instead of sweat of the brow. I know I can work. I've established that clearly. From moving furniture around my house by myself, including a piano, across a carpeted floor with several of the wheels under the piano having gone flat on one edge because it had stood in the same place for so many years. I had to figure out ways to do that. And I did. I got very creative. But it's a lot easier to do things like ask for help. Divine, would you help me with this? Divine, I know you can do this much better than I can. I'm going to place this in your lap for you to work on. Not taking it on like it's all up to me. That just makes me pissed off. That just makes me resentful, like I'm doing all the work and nobody else is doing anything, and I think some of you know that response very well, of being resentful and angry and feeling undersupported and unappreciated. Well, that can be a racket. I have to let go of that. And I have to do what I can do and let go of the rest. There are some things I can't fix, especially if it's you. And you probably don't want me fixing you either. You get to do that inner rearrangement into the order that feels harmonious and valid and validating to you. Each of you finds your own solution and your way to the solution. But what I'm saying is, if you include the divine as a working partner, things will come together a lot more easily. Right. So, what else is happening out here in the world of questions and energy? This morning at the 7:30 live on my personal page, the guides did, Anubis actually did a channeling on how we are being the bridges from the physical world to the metaphysical world. That we're developing ourselves to be those conduits, those bridges, those links from the physical world to the metaphysical world and the world of energy or in consciousness. And how valid that is. And that's part of how we serve as human beings and as agents of the divine in one way or another. So the more you can enhance, I'm going to put it in I statements. I'm being encouraged more and more to depend on the divine to create my reality. And I'm depending more and more on appreciating the divine's wisdom of how she makes things work out and how she helps lift the pressure of do work, make it happen from my own self-will and my own limited resources. The divine has the run of everything. The divine can make it come into being so easily. My job is just to watch for the cues and clues, and receive, open to receive, enhance my receiving. And then I'm a better conduit between the physical world and the metaphysical world. And I find that being a being of both worlds is not so much a foot in either pie and my legs are stretching apart. It's more like my feet are coming together and being grounded into one thing. And that's both. Being both. All right, folks. I'm going to refresh my page and see if any more questions have been written in. I love it when you have a question. I think in our country, we sort of have an opinion, like if you're full of questions, you have no answers, and then you are like dangerous. You're like could be confused or led astray, or you should already know the answer. That's more like it. You should already know the answer. And that feels kind of punitive, and it's a should. To me, the word should is very disempowering. And it reminds me of my AA sponsor. She had a baseball bat drawn on the inside of her big book cover, and on the side it said should, SHOULD, and I'm using a baseball bat with the word should to beat myself up, because it's sort of, should is this external reality. It's not validating. It's, my brother says should is the least empowering word in the English language, and I'm inclined to agree with that. And but you know, so me, I should know the answer to all my questions. Well, why? I don't. And sometimes I'm running on blind faith, sheer, like, okay, I'm gonna trust you, divine. I'm trusting you. I'm gonna take my little paws off control of trying to manage all the situations in my life and all these questions and all these things I'm trying to generate in life, and I'm going to give it to you. And then my job is to walk away and sit in the idea that everything is always working out for me. And I tell you, when I'm worrying and I remember this, things work out just fine. All right, folks. It's been my pleasure to be with you today. I love you bunches. And I would love to do a reading for you. You can go to my website, anniechannels.com, anniechannels.com. A listing of classes and events are up there. I'm going to be doing live readings at the next Soul Search. They're calling them Enlightenment Expos now, in San Rafael, California. That is February 24th and 25th, I think. And let's see. There we go. That's the information I'm looking for. Yeah, and I'm going to be giving a talk on my book, Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness, an Akashic Records Guide to Living a Fulfilled Life. This book has a lot of wisdom in it. My guides channeled it. They put it together in an amazing way. It teaches you how to open your Akashic records, which are the records of your soul's entire journey, and ask questions from there, utilizing the information and energy you get from the Akashic beings of light, your masters, your teachers, and your loved ones that are your advisory team, your spiritual advisory team in your Akashic records. So Melanie, you would love this book. I think you would find it really, really enriching and validating. And get a hold of me. The normal rate, if you order it off of Amazon, is $24. But if you want it signed by me, then you need to send me $30, and I will pull out of my supply of books, and I will write a special note and sign the inside cover for you, and then mail it to you. So it can be had, and you can get Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness, an Akashic Records Guide to Living a Fulfilled Life, channeled by Reverend Annie Bachelder. So anyway, there you go. I'll talk with you later. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being my beloved friends and cohorts, walking shoulder to shoulder on the path of life. You're a blessing to me. I hope you have a marvelous day. Bye now. Hello.